Hey, first grade, we are going to go back to your sentences that you created yesterday, and we're going to do some editing and revising. So I'm going to show you an example of how to edit and revise, just like we do in class, but a little refresher since it's been a while. And then I'm going to send you guys off to edit and revise your own sentences. So our target today is I can edit and revise my sentences. So when we have to go back and edit or revise something, we use the assignment criteria to help us with that. So remember that your job was to explain how Pierre and Maggie are similar and how Pierre and Maggie are different. Those are the questions that you have to answer. As you're answering those questions and you're working on your writing, you have other things that you have to make sure you're meeting, like grammar. Does what I write make any sense? Penmanship. Can people read my handwriting? Can I read my own handwriting? That also includes things like letters that fall, letters that are tall, and letters that stay at the line. That is a part of penmanship. Punctuation. Do I have ending punctuation in my sentences? So I'm either using a period for telling, an exclamation point for yelling, or a question mark for asking. Either way, I have to have some kind of ending punctuation. Spelling. So remember that I don't expect all of your words to be spelled perfectly at this point in first grade, but I do expect to see that you've given it a solid effort in trying to sound out your words. And remember all of those rules that we taught you about spelling, about reading and spelling to help you come up with how to spell a word that you're stuck on. So spacing, I have good spacing in between my words and my letters, and I have capitals. We have a lot of proper nouns in this story, a lot of names like Pierre, Pam, Maggie. All of those should be capitalized no matter where they are in a sentence. All right, so I'm going to go back through and I'm going to make sure first that I have all of my big 6 criteria met, and then second, that I've actually answered my questions. So I'm going to start with grammar. So does my sentence make sense? Pierre the penguin is different because he hurt his wing and Maggie hurt her eye. The same because they birds. Okay, so I know that my last sentence here, the same because they birds, does not make any sense. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to think about what words I can use instead to make it make more sense. So instead of the, I'm going to write they are. And I'm going to reread it to myself. They are same 'cause they birds. So still I'm missing a word to make my sentence correct. They are the, let's try that. They are the same 'cause they birds. So 'cause is not a conjunction. So remember we talked about conjunctions and compound words. 'Cause is not a word. We might say it, we might text it, but when we're writing, the word is because. So I'm going to write because. So I have they are the same because they birds. So I'm still missing something here. I think I need to add in the word are. They are the same because they are birds. That makes more sense to me. All right, I'm going to go and look at penmanship. So my handwriting. My handwriting looks pretty nice, but I notice as I'm going back that I'm not letting my G's fall. I'm making my G's stay inside the line, which is not how we write that letter. So remember, G's fall. So I need to go back and fix my G's when I rewrite my sentence. Looking for any other penmanship. Okay, I'm going to look at punctuation. I can tell right away in my sentence I have no punctuation. So I'm going to read until I know that I want to stop and add in my punctuation. Pierre the penguin is different because he hurt his wing and Maggie hurt her eye. So I know that's the end of my sentence, so I'm adding a period. They are the same because they are birds. That's the end of my other sentence. So now I have punctuation. All right, let's talk about spelling. So I already fixed up cuz down here when I was working on grammar, but I also noticed that I wrote the word cuz up here. Cuz is not a word we use in writing. We might say it, we might text it, but when we're writing, the word is because. So I'm going to fix my spelling there. I'm going to look at different. Something doesn't look right with this word, especially because it's in my writing criteria. I should definitely be spelling this word correctly because it's given to me. So I'm going to pay attention to my writing criteria and spell this word correctly. Different. I'm looking through any more words that I need to fix up. Birds. I've been writing a ton about birds, just like you guys, so I know that we don't spell birds with a Z. Birds is with an S, because when I'm talking about more than one thing, it's plural, and we make a word plural by adding an S, not a Z. Okay, so my spelling looks pretty good. I'm going to go through now and look at my spacing. Pierre. The penguin looks pretty squished. I need to put some spacing there. So I'm going to draw a line that tells me I need to make sure when I rewrite my sentence, I have some good spacing. Everything else looks pretty spaced out, so I'm going to move on to capitals. All right, remember we have a lot of names in these sentences because we're talking about characters in a story. So names like Pierre, Maggie, Pam, those things need to be capitalized. Also, the first letter of my sentence, no matter what word it is, always has to be capitalized. But I can tell already that I need to capitalize Pierre. And the signal for capitalizing is 3 lines underneath a letter. So that tells me I need to make Pierre capitalized when I go back and rewrite my sentence. So I'm moving through, nothing else important, but I come across the word Maggie. Maggie is a name. So I'm going to add 3 letters under my M so that when I go back to edit, I know that it has to be capital. And I have a capital T in my second sentence. So now that I'm done, I'm going to use all of those corrections that I made to rewrite my sentence. So I'm starting with the word Pierre, and I gave myself that signal with 3 lines underneath, reminding me I need to capitalize Pierre. Pierre, the penguin. Last time I didn't put any spacing between these 2 words, so I'm going to change that now. Pierre, the penguin, is different. So remember, I fixed my spelling on different and cuz, so I need to make sure that I reflect it here. Is different because he hurt his wing. So I come to the word wing and I notice I made a correction for myself. My G didn't fall, which is not proper penmanship. So when I write the word wing, my G is going to fall now. His wing. Now my G falls. And then I see something else I need to change in Maggie. I need to capitalize my M and my G's need to drop. So capital M, Maggie, with my G's that fall, hurt her eye. I made a note to myself that I need a period. So I'm going to make sure I carry that over. And then I did a lot of work with this sentence with grammar, so I need to make sure that I capture all those changes. So I didn't start with the word the, I started with the word they. They are the same. Remember, cuz isn't a word that we write, because they are birds. Because it's plural, I have to use an S. Z does not tell me that it's a plural word. Okay, so now I have my sentence that I edited and my final sentences put together. So Miss Ackerman wrote a slightly different sentence so that we wouldn't be writing about the same exact things. But I want to make sure that you guys are meeting those writing criteria, that you're explaining how they're similar and different, and it's about their experiences. Okay, so what happened to them? They are the same because they are birds does not meet the similarity criteria, because that doesn't have anything to do with what happened to them. But Miss Ackerman used that as an example so that we could edit our sentences. All right, so your job is to send me an updated version of your sentence, and I want you to show me the sentence that you corrected and the sentence that you rewrote. So you take a picture of both so that I can see the changes that you made and how you're editing your sentences. So snap a picture of your original sentence and your edited sentences and upload those to Dojo.